So I think for 2 or 3 weeks, the players kind of like were just in disbelief to think that, yes, the show's got to go on. Yes, we've got to carry on playing. But we've gone into games now blind, effectively, because we're thinking where the goal's going to come from.
This is the Sheff United Way podcast with Ingood Nick and Hal Stewart. Clips.
Brian Deane and Deane and FJORTOFT both got sold. Was it in the same week? I think it was in the same week.
Yeah, same week, wasn't it? Yeah.
Were there any sort of fallout? Because I know there was a lot of fallout in the fans. We were thinking, we've thrown away this league.
I just think it was. We were, again, I don't want to say pissing it, but we were stomping the league. We were there and thereabouts. We had a good team. We had a really good squad, strong squad, and likes of Hutch, Wardy, people like that. Hutch is like he struggled to get in the team a little bit. Hutch, to be fair, so we had a really good side. We had a really good sub, really good bench, and I think it's more disbelief that you maybe accept one striker being sold, maybe, but 2 strikers. I think that's just I don't see where the club were going with that, and I don't I think it's Giles Green at the time. I don't see where the club were going, and as players, it kind of knocks you back a bit because. You go and training sort of thing, and you're playing with these players you see them week in, week out, and training. You think, wow, players. So you turn up on a Saturday, these players that you've got used to playing with like for 4 or 5 months. You're thinking you kind of know the team's ticking, and you're playing well. You kind of know each other now, what you do, what you don't do, what runs they like, what balls they like, they don't like. But when you get 2 of your centre forwards who scored the majority of your goals, you're thinking, what really? Where they gone? So it's hard to. So I think for 2 or 3 weeks, the players kind of like were just in disbelief to think that, yes, the show's got to go on. Yes, we've got to carry on playing. But we've gone into games now blind, effectively, because we're thinking where the goal's going to come from. I know we went and got Dino and Dean Swan's on about. I know we went and got people like that. But we're talking about 2 of, if not, well, without doubt, at that time, you talk about 2 probably the best strikers in the first division, championship, should I say, and they both went on the same day. And, if one had gone, maybe we'd been all right. One had gone, it'd be okay. But for 2 strikers to go, and they're strikers. Strikers are like a rare breed. They're like Jan scores goals for fun. He was a natural goal scorer. And Dino was just an unbelievable player who caused mayhem in and around the box, outside the box. He took 2 defenders every game he played. He took 2 defenders. So it was hard to negotiate those 2, 3, 4 weeks after that, because like I said, they're just massive players for us. They got us the goals.
Yeah. Well, you'd think that we wouldn't have done that again, but we did with James Beattie quite a few years later, when we thought it was the exact same thing. We expected that we were going to get promoted because we were that good, and they didn't learn the lesson that time.
I know football clubs have to. It's a business. I get I get all that. I get the politics. I do, but. You have to put. I think it's something I've mentioned before. You have to put things in a little bit of perspective. For what they got for Dino, for Jan, really, they couldn't have waited 5 months. I mean, wait till the end of the season, get a little bit cheaper, or bung extra couple $100,000. I say it sounded like it's easy money, but what I'm saying is, I mean, look where we are. If we was bottom of the league and we're struggling, fair enough. You could say, look, yeah, okay, look, but we weren't. We were competing on every level, fighting in every competition we're fighting for, with a chance of, and let's be honest, I said before, in that team, that squad, I think we would have won it. I do. I watch the Sunderland Charlton game. I don't see, the playoff. I don't think we would have got.
Not only that, Quinny, I agree with you. We'd have got more money getting into the Premier League than we got for both of them.
Yeah, so it doesn't make. So I get the politics, but it doesn't make sense. If you're mid-table, fair enough, make some money, but I just don't. And if we'd got up, then imagine the windfall from winning the league, going into the Premier League. Yeah. It's just bad politics.
I can tell you, every blade has just agreed with everything you've just said.
Yeah, it's true though. It's bad. I'm not clever enough to think that it's. I'm talking, but I'm saying it's just as a player looking in, as a fan looking in, that's got to be the stupidest thing to do. It's just bad politics.
And the fact that we all still talk about it all these years on. Just shows how terrible it was.
Yeah.
I got friends. I go out to Sheffield. They still talk about it. They couldn't. I said, laugh. They said they should have sold you. I was like, yeah, they should have. But it's true, because at least they had a better chance. But no, it's just stupid. It's a shame that we're talking about it for the wrong reasons. When if they had stayed, I think that season could have been yes, we got semi-final. Yes, we lost to Sunderland in the playoff, but it could have been a whole lot different that season. You know, it could have been a whole lot different. You know, and it's just a shame that taking those 2 players away from us, it hurt us. The goals win games. That's common knowledge. Goals win games. You know, and that's what it is.
It wasn't just those 2, was it? Then Nigel Spackman left.
Yeah, and that was but then.
Was that for the same reason? Was it? Do you think it was because of that?
Well, yeah, because then what I've mentioned before, Nick. But what he's been basically his legs been taken underneath him. You know, he's gone in one morning and said like, no, they're not going to be sold. And one morning, so he left for work one day, said they're not going to be sold. And he hears it on the news, and come the next day, both 2 of his top strikers have left. So you know what else? You got to ask the question: what else is going on, or was going on behind the scenes for that to happen? And then for Nigel Spackman to say, well, look, you promised me one thing, you did the absolute opposite, so I can't trust you. Thank you, bye-bye, I'm off. So
yeah, you can't really blame Spackers because his team was gutted, wasn't it? It was like Hutchinson, Carl Tyler, Mitch Ward. Yeah. Of course, these 2 strikers we're talking about.
Yeah, it's just, Wardy left Everton and Hutch for Everton. So his 5 players gone effectively. But like, let's be honest, Wardy, really good player. Hutch, really good player. Like 2 strikers, like I said, goals. So it's just when you're getting told no players being sold to then within 12 hours, 5 players effectively 2 are definitely gone. He's gonna do that. I don't blame him at all. You know, I think he's done the right. It's like any job you do. You know, if you get told one thing, you're gonna go, you're gonna walk. You know, save face. And I think he left to save face, and I think it's the right thing to do.
Well, we're talking about Nigel Spackman. How did Nigel Spackman compare? Because he was your first team manager when you broke to Sheffield United. How did he compare with the managers that followed in your career?
Gaff was good. Again, Nigel's really nice. I said nice, cool, everybody Gaffer, but Nigel Spackman was really good. He was good. His man management. He's polite. He spoke really well. Like, you know, I don't think I ever shout. He would always. I got to know what, but he would shout. But Nigel never did that. He would articulate where was wrong, how you could beat a team through articulation, and if you weren't playing well at half time, he would never rant and rave. He would very often I heard him swear. He would just explain, look, you can do better. He'd be real nice and polite about it. You can do better. You know, you got more from you. Just need to up the game a little bit. You know, throughout the team. You know, and he was really good at that. His man management was really good, and he was like the old school. He was the old school, but trying to the modern way of football in respect of not just the wing backs, but like eating the right stuff and drinking the right stuff. You know, we had I remember going to see with my knees. Actually, I remember going to see Eileen Drury. Do you remember Eileen Drury?
Well, you mentioned he's friends with Glenn Hoddle. Sounds like he's taken quite a lot from Glenn Hoddle.
Yeah. So I don't know if you knew this, but Nigel's got a poorly. I think it's a poorly boy. I think it is. And his boy used to go quite often, and I used to problem with my knees, like sort of thing. I could never get why I'd struggle with my knees until a bit later. He said, "Well, look, true story." He was like, when I got injured that season, he took me to London to see Eileen Drury. On no word of a lie, Nigel Spackman. I saw me, him, and his son were in the car from Sheffield down to London to see Eileen Drury in her house, and she got on my knee, sort of thing, and said, "No, you've got a good 3 or 4 years. Your mental thing, and all that." Anyway. So I went to see her, and that was before they all come in the papers about the England players being made to go and see it. But as I was coming out, Glenn Hoddle was coming in. It's weird how you look at it. But
was she wrong, Quinny? Now you look back on it.
No, because do you know something? No, because I played that season because I got told I wasn't going to play that season when I got injured that 97-98 when I missed the couple of months through an operation on my knee. I got told I wasn't going to play for the rest of the season. But I come back in, I think it was late February, the Ipswich game. I think it was late February. I come back. So she wasn't. So she did say, "No, you're all right. You will come back." And she literally just touched my knee. You'll be all right.